Hi there, this is Michael with Insurance Agency Automation Associates with another one of my quick videos showing a couple of features of AMS360. Today we're going to talk about documents. First, let's talk about how you get documents in. I'm not going to cover that in great detail in this video, but I want to remind you that documents get added into the system via activities. However, we do not need to use activities to find our documents necessarily. We can do that, but it's not usually the most efficient. Activities are notes about how and why we did something, while the document that's attached to an activity is a result of that activity. So let's look here at a customer. I'm on a policy screen, and I do have documents summaries right over here. As I change policies, I can see there's a document there, and here I see that that's the only document. However, if I go over to Documents view, I can see all the documents in my time frame. I'm in a training customer, so I have this set really long. Normally I wouldn't set it that long. I would look at maybe 90, 120 days, 180 days maybe at the most on an average account. But again, I'm in the training system, so I have it wide. So let's look also first, I have some descriptions here that have a unique coding. I code them by the policy effective year and expiration year, the line of business, so you can see 22, 23, auto, and then down here we have some homeowners. I do have a couple here, this one here and this one down here, whoops, too far, down here, that are not coded with a policy year because they're photos, or in this case an appraisal as well. So if they don't apply to a particular policy year, then I have them wider. The other thing I have in here, this is a certificate, and I say this is a certificate for the auto for lost payee to my bank. Down here I have an application, 2223, auto line of business, completed and signed. So I describe it how it is so that I can say this is what I'm after. I don't want to have to open, read it, close it, open, read it, close it, open, read it, close it. And then finally down here I have a quote. So I have homeowners quote, travelers, $1,500 premium at 12.5% agency commission. And then it's a fee, so I can make this view a bit wider, as you can see. And I can say a fee of agency fee of $150, all coverages. So if I wanted to put something in there, I would detail out what it is. If there was a quote maybe for comp and collision only, then I'd say that, or one vehicle only, then I'd say what vehicle it was. Again, I'm describing it. Now, the reason for that coding is that once I'm in one of my views, I'm going to show you a different way to do it as well. I can sort it by the description. And here I have it sorted by year and then sub-sorted by auto, line of business rather. So here we can see the 21-22 auto, 21-22 homeowners, 21-22 homeowners. And then it skips down to 22-23 auto, 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 and then there's the two homeowners. So it categorizes them in a little bit of a group. That helps me find things later on as I want them. And then I can also use the document type to say what I'm after. So maybe I want to sort it by document type here and say, oh, here's my applications, and it's for that year in that line of business, and are they completed and signed? In this case, they are both completed and both signed. So that's how I would list that. For me, I don't care about the file name. The only time the file name matters to me is when I'm attaching it to a certificate or other e-form, and then it matters to me, and that's a topic for another day. So likewise, what I can do is if I want to find a particular document, and let's say that it's much larger here, I have a handful of documents here because it's a training customer, I can come up here to my Doc360 search right up here. If you don't know how to get that there, let me know and I can tell you. I'm going to open that up, and what it does is it tells me the documents. Now I open this on the customer, not on a policy. If I'd been on the policy view and had a policy selected, it would show that policy number here. So I can limit it down by all those fields, but I'm going to leave it alone. The most important one is the date range here. Okay, so let's talk about received and processed. If you're using what we call front-end scanning or My Documents in the Home Center, process date is the date it was attached to the customer and finished. If it's a received date, that's the date it was received in the system. Again, if you're using front-end scanning or My Agency, front-end scanning or My Documents in a Home Center, those two fields mean something. If you're just merely dragging and dropping or attaching to an activity on a daily basis, then the received date and the process date are going to be the same. So it's a small issue for those. If I'm looking across a long time range, I'll set that time range, or excuse me, I want to look at a specific time range like the last 30 days, I will set that. This unprocessed document, not going to talk about today because that's a front end piece. But I can say what doc type I want, and I have a search, a keyword search. If I can change this keyword there, if I know it's got some description in it I want. For today's purpose, I'm going to leave that all open and I'm going to hit find. It's going to find all these documents. Now, if I leave that date range open like I did here, and there's a lot of documents in this customer, it will take a few minutes to do. And this one's not many documents, but it did take a few moments. So what I'm really interested in is down here in the description field. I can again sort it by the description, and then I get my filtering, or not my filter, my organization that I talked about back out here. Or I can come over here and let's say I want a particular doc type. I can filter by what's here. I mean, up top here I could say give me the doc type, and whether it's there or not, it'll give me whatever it returns. Here I'm seeing what is returned. Let me drag this down a little further. So here I'm seeing what's returned, and I can click on that little filter there and say just show me the application. Now I'm seeing just the applications. I can unclick that, go back to all, and I'll see everything that's there. So a couple nice things about here, and this applies back in the other as well, that if I click on that, activate it, let's say I want those photos, there they are. So I want that one, and your doc types of course will vary by agency and how you guys set them up. I can email them out of the system. If I email them out of the system and when I hit final button and hit send, it will create a new activity and it will copy those documents to that activity, but it will not duplicate them in the system. So the document's merely attached to multiple places. That works back here in the regular view as well, that if I picked a couple of them and I hit email right here, it does the same thing. If I hit copy to clipboard, and then I can paste them into an email reply that I'm doing on Outlook, and then I save that email back into the system, I've now duplicated the documents. They will be in the system more than once. They also will not have the doc type in there because it doesn't understand that. It doesn't know it. Likewise, I have the history button here. I also have it back out there. Let me drag that over just a little bit. If I selected one only, there's the history button there. So those are the quickie things that I wanted to show you. If I wanted to view these, I could hit the V button for view and it'll show me what that document is in its native format so you can see it. But the goal is to doc type them and to give it a good description so that it matters. And the description, the reason it matters, let me make this a little bit bigger. Come on, grab the edge there. I can make these bigger in other ways, but I just wanted to drag that one out. Is so that I can see that, is this what I'm looking for? Like for example, let's say that I needed to send a copy. I know I have an appraisal and I need to send a copy of that. So I'm going to go here, File, Appraisal, and let's say it's for that Picasso painting. So I don't need to open that, view it, and read it. What I know is that I captured it in the 22-23 homeowners policy period. It's of the Picasso and it's dated of 1/2019. That's important for appraisals, signed documents, and photos. Let's say I needed a photo of the front of the house or something like that. Let's go back there, File, All, and then File. I'm going to say Photo. So here we got a front view of the house, and here we got the car. In this particular case, I documented what policy period I captured it, and I said driver's side, but it didn't say when the photo was taken. Whereas right here, for 1234 Main Street front view, I put a date of the photo. So I say, okay, that was just a year ago. That's probably good to still use. But if that photo was 5 years ago, maybe it's not good to use, and I have to go get a new photo. So that's why putting information into the system is good. Now, as far as not giving a description and not giving a doc type, that's like drop filing it. I have to go find it, I got to view it, and I have to answer what it is. Now, if I'm doing it in the view here, like right here, I already see that driver. So I'm going to hit this little results button. Opens up this, and I can hit change index information. And so I can change anything about this, including putting the date in there. Hit OK. I'm going to cancel in this case. And back out here, I can do the same thing, that if it's that picture I want, this one here, I can now hit change index here, and I can change this and add it in. I will add you a security ability at multiple levels for documents, so you can actually set it to where a person, unrestricted means anybody with access to this system, access to this customer and policy, can see that the document exists and can view the document. The next level, depending on your agency settings, I'm going to say here sensitive, again, depends on your agency settings, would be that a person with access to the system, access to the customer and policy, would be able to see the document exist, but not be able to view it. The next level, again, subject to your system, confidential, is that depending on that individual user's security settings, remember, they may not even be able to see that this document exists. So they can see it, view it, see it exists and view it, see it exists and not view it, not even know it exists. And that's important in commercial accounts and benefits accounts particularly, but also in personal lines accounts, that if you're capturing sensitive information like some medical information. Maybe it's related to a claim, maybe it's related, if you're doing health and life insurance, it's related to that, and that's the kind of stuff you want to hide. You don't want everybody to see that. But again, it's subject to the user settings. There's a lot more that we can do, but that's a good basics, and I wanted you to understand them. Hope everything makes sense, and I thank you for viewing this today.
Hey there, thank you for watching the video today. Hope you found it informative and it was worth your time. When you get a chance, drop over to my webpage at ins-automation.com. Check out the offerings there. Particularly if you're not already a member of the newsletter group, please sign up by clicking that little box, answering the questions, and you'll shortly get an introduction and invite to view past issues. Other things you can find here is how to contact me. Simplest way, of course, is my email address, michael@ins-automation.com, or my phone number at area code 805-573-3725. Also, if you want to book time with me, even just for a phone call, go to Calendly, calendly.com/ins-automation, or there's a link in all my emails. And you can see here how to schedule some time, 15-minute, 30-minute, whatever. As you click on those time slots, it'll show you what's available in my calendar. Do note that the times on there are for West Coast or Pacific time zone. If you're a Central or Eastern agency and need some additional different times, just drop me an email and let me know what day you want to try to meet, and I can make that accommodation with advance notice. Just need to make sure I have a chance to get myself woken up, as there's a 3-hour difference for East Coasters, and get the dog a walk when she needs it. Back over here to the web page. Other things you can look at are resources for agencies, tools and products and tools I have, and all the other information there you can see. Again, this is Michael with Insurance Agency Automation Associates. Hope you're having a wonderful day, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.